I'm Jennifer with Eye Candy Creations. Welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to share with you how to make faux Easter bunny cakes. I know it's fall and I know Christmas is around the corner, but I am inspired to work on some Easter. I am hosting an art event next spring, the first weekend in April, and I wanted to make some really pretty table centerpieces. And because it's around the corner, April will be here before I know it, I thought I'm going to go ahead and get a jump start. But these are cakes that you can make yourself, and you can do any holiday. You can do Christmas, Valentines, Halloween, and so I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead because I love beautiful decorative cakes and I love vintage bunnies, and I thought, why not combine the two and just make pure magic? And it's pretty and it's springy, and they're going to display really, really well. So I wanted to share on how to make that. And this is a two-type tutorial. You've got the how to make the faux cakes and how to make the mold. So I will share with you those, but this is my first time kind of making this, so I'm not an expert, but I have to give big props to this one gal that I follow here on YouTube, and I will link her channel here in the description. Her name is Dawn with the Pink Tree, and she makes cake, faux cupcakes, cake pops, pies. She's so inspiring. I've really learned a lot from her, and it inspired me to make my bunny cakes because she even did the bunny molds, and that's where I got the idea. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I'll make this for my art event. So I'm going to share again with her YouTube, and then with working with the molds, you're working with Plaster of Paris. And let me just tell you, Plaster of Paris is really tricky to work with. I had some duds, and then I finally hit the jackpot. But I will share the two links of the gentleman that shows great tutorials on how to work with Plaster of Paris. But again, these are really, it's a beautiful, beautiful centerpiece. You can display this during any holiday. And I will be selling these bunny cakes that I'm making exclusively at my event, and which, by the way, I do have a few seats still available. It's going to be held in Jekyll Island the first weekend of April, and it's a beautiful, artful, creative weekend. I have so much fun stuff planned, and it's right on the water. It's beautiful, so if you think you might be interested, we would love for you to join us, and I will list my website link to find out all more detailed information about the event. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. And again, I'm really happy you're here. And okay, let's go make some pretty faux cakes. These are the materials you will need for the project. You'll need the Plaster of Paris by DAP, the Patch and Paint lightweight spackling. You'll need a bucket that has a measuring, a clear container for your water. You'll need your mold. Of course, that's a Santa, but I didn't use the Santa for the project. And then you'll need your cake dummies. And I'll list the supplies in the description so you can find that easily as well. First thing you want to do is mix your Plaster of Paris with your water. It is 2 parts Plaster of Paris to 1 part water. And I am going to list the YouTube links of 2 gentlemen that give great tutorials on mixing Plaster of Paris with the water. You will want the coldest water possible because that will help from the Plaster of Paris setting quickly. You want as much time to work with this product so it doesn't set before you get it into your molds. So basically, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes to slowly put your Plaster of Paris into the water. You just tap the sides and it will start to dissolve into the water, but you don't want to stir it yet. When you are close to having the Plaster of Paris all in the water, gently stir it, but not too much. You just want to make it a nice smooth consistency. Next, place your mold in between 2 bricks or heavy stack of books. You want your mold to be nice and secure. You will then pour the plaster of Paris slowly into the mold and just kind of take your time and just get it to the very top of the rim and try not to get air bubbles. The less air bubbles, the better. And if you get a little bit on the outside, it's not a problem. You can wipe it away, or after it dries and you remove it, you can just take a piece of sandpaper and just lightly sand that piece off. Once you have filled both of your molds with the plaster of Paris, you are going to let it sit overnight for at least 24 hours till it's nice and dry. Once the molds are nice and dry, you will then gently start to remove them. And what I usually do is I just kind of lightly open up the edges just to kind of let the seal open, let some air in, and just be super gentle. And as you can see, we lost our bunny ears. Uh-oh. But we hot glue it. It happens. I had better luck with the second one. But again, just take your time. Just kind of open up the edges a little bit and then just be real gentle, and it will slowly start to pop out. And you'll have a perfect mold. And thankfully, we didn't lose the bunny ears on this one. This bunny mold turned out really great. However, it had one little tiny area in the corner where we lost just a little bit of plaster, but it's not a problem. It's barely even noticeable. Before you adhere the bunnies together, you'll want to take a light grit sandpaper and just lightly sandpaper the back of the bunny just to smooth out any bumps, little edges, just to make it nice and smooth so it'll be prepped and ready to glue together. Now it's time to put our two molds together, and I use hot glue, and you want really hot glue, and I use a little bit of the quick grip. I just like to use them both together. The quick grip is just amazing. So I'll add the quick grip first, and then I'll go and use the hot glue on top of that, and then I'll seal them immediately. And I usually let this sit overnight so it's good and dry. You can also see where I repaired the bunny ear, just a tiny little crack, but once we get it painted, you don't even notice it. But I did use a little bit of the quick grip and the hot glue to repair his ear. And then now we're going to seal it together and let this baby dry for a little while. And then we're going to add our caulking in between to fill in the gaps. Next step, we're going to use the simple seal. It's a caulking, and what's really great about this can is it kind of reminds me of that cheese. Remember the Cheese Whiz where the cheese came out of the can? This is so easy. It is kind of messy, but it's an easy, quick cleanup. But anyways, I just point and shoot and just fill the cracks. And I take a little toothpick, and I will kind of poke it in there, wipe it around in there, and then of course, I use a paper towel just to kind of wipe some areas away. You just want to get it only in the middle section. You just don't want to get it on the mold. So this takes a little bit of time. It is messy, but you'll get all of the open areas nice and filled. When the caulking is good and dry, you will want to take your sandpaper and lightly sand the edges all the way around the bunny just to get off any of the excess caulking and just smooth it out nicely and just, make sure everything is smoothed out, and then you're ready to go ahead and paint. For the gold bunny, I just used a metallic gold spray. I took it outside and lightly sprayed it, and I did about 3 light coats until it was nice and dry. Now it's time to ice our cake. You're going to take your lightweight spackling and you're going to mix it with your favorite acrylic paints, whatever color you want to use. And I will tell you, the spackling is like a light grayish white tint, so I added a little bit of white paint just to get it a brighter shade, and then I added my pink paint. And like I said, you could add whatever color you want, mix it really good, and then just start spreading it on there. So compared to other cake artists and people that make faux sweets, I am not an expert by any means. I don't do this often, so I just slapped the stuff on there and just kind of, spread it about. And then I ended up taking a smooth spreader that I bought at Hobby Lobby, and I just kind of smoothed the edges. So that kind of like smoothed it out, made it look a little bit more polished, and then I went and added the frosting on the top. Here is a quick video shot of the cake. It is fully dry. Make sure it's dry before you go and you add your decorative ribbon, your scallops, your flowers. Just make sure it's good and dry before you add it. There you go, how to make your own Easter Bunny faux cake. It is such a great project. You can do any holiday. I love the idea of doing Christmas and Valentines and Halloween. So I think these are going to make beautiful table centerpieces, very springy and sugary sweet. So I'm going to switch gears, and next week I'm going to be doing Christmas, which I'm so excited. Christmas is my favorite holiday to create for. I'm always inspired. I have some great ideas for some things that I want to make, and I really can't wait to share with you. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, share, comment. I read all my comments, and if you have any questions, I'll definitely get back to you. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time. Happy creating.